And hello everyone, and welcome into episode number 8 of Matt Sports Talk, and we are recapping all of the games from this past Saturday, February 8th, and I'll be recording a men's video following this one, recapping all of the men's games from this past Saturday. And there were a lot of exciting matches that took place this last Saturday, and I know I mentioned in my previous episode video that I recorded, I think it was Thursday, last Thursday, that I thought I would be on my Spotify podcast website today, and that did not happen. I think though, I'm still going to use the Spotify podcast. I'll be going back and forth between that and uploading these videos here on YouTube, but I was thinking, especially earlier today, that with the regular season winding down and the postseason, getting ready, upcoming, and there's a bunch of different scenarios for teams to clinch a playoff spot or teams to be in whatever seeding position with all the different tiebreakers and that sort of thing. So that's why I wanted to keep doing these YouTube videos. At least recapping the rest of the regular season. I think though I'm gonna stay here on YouTube with these game recaps and previewing the upcoming matches again, just here on YouTube as we wrap up the regular season, and then once we get into the postseason, I think I'm not exactly sure, 100% sure yet how I'm going to do it, but obviously I'm still going to utilize the podcast website. Maybe just use that for any interviews that I do with players or coaches, and maybe just utilize that platform that way. Again, I'm not exactly sure. I might mix it up a little bit. Do one recap video on the podcast site, one recap video here on YouTube. I'm not totally sure exactly how I'm going to do it, but I think though as we get through the rest of the regular season, I'm just going to stay here on YouTube, recapping all of these games, previewing the upcoming ones, and talking about any playoff clinching scenarios here on YouTube, just so you're able to see my face. And then that way we're all on the same page with you being able to see my face. Now obviously, talking about playoff clinching scenarios, whether it's audio, video, or both audio and video, it doesn't really matter exactly. If it doesn't really matter if you see my face or not. But again, I think though, for the purpose, I'll just stay here on YouTube through the rest of the regular season. Again, doing these daily recap, or not daily, but doing these weekly recap videos. Recapping recent games and etc. I think at least through the rest of the regular season, it's just going to be. I might just stick to this platform. Maybe just use my podcast website. During a full season recap, I think I might just do it that way, just so it's easier to upload online during a full season recap of all the Crossroads League teams, where everybody finished, all the full statistics from each team's leader, or not each team's leaders, but like the full statistics of the season, who was the leading scorer in terms of points, field goal percentage, that sort of thing. I think my podcast website will be perfect for that, and then just doing these recap videos and talking about playoff, clinching scenarios, where all the teams are going to be seated in the postseason. I think I'll just utilize here on YouTube for that. So make sure that you either like this video, comment, or subscribe. Any of those three things help me out greatly. So without further ado, let's dive into all the games from this past Saturday. First, the first matchup takes us to Mishawaka, Indiana, where the Mount Vernon Nazarene Cougars faced off against the Pilots of Bethel. And the Pilots of Bethel, of course, the first time these two teams met in Mount Vernon back in January, it was a Mount Vernon 25-point win over the Pilots. The Pilots returning the favor at their place this past Saturday, winning by a final score of 74-62. One big stat that stood out was MVNU freshman Serenity Johnson, 11 of 19 shooting, 2 of 6 from beyond the arc, 6 of 7 at the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Emily Walker scoreless, but she did have 6 assists and 2 rebounds. Teresa Maggio had an off-game shooting, but she was 5 of 6 at the line with 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 3 steals. Katie Sprang had an off-shooting game, but she did have 2 steals. And Angela Roshak had an off-shooting game, but she did have 1 block, 1 rebound, 1 assist. MVNU as a team shot 37% from the field, 15 from 3, so not really good numbers there. But Mount Vernon was 83% at the free throw line, and you'll take that all day. Meanwhile, for the Pilots, Caroline Morris had 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 of 3 shooting. Mariah Claywell, 6 of 13 shooting, 7 of 10 at the line, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, and 4 steals. Gracie Lambs, 4 of 7 shooting, 3 of 4 at the line with an assist and a steal. Isabel Scales, 2 of 4 shooting, 5 of 6 at the free throw line with 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Olivia Nickerson got the starting role for Bethel, the sharpshooter freshman, 2 of 4 shooting, which was all from beyond the arc, 5 of 6 at the free throw line. Bethel shot 37 from the field, 35 from 3, but just 75 at the free throw line, so Bethel was a little bit better in terms of shooting, especially from three-point range, and that was the matchup there. The next matchup takes us to Upland, Indiana, where the Cougars of Spring Arbor traveled to face off against the Trojans of Taylor, and Spring Arbor victorious in this game 77-62 after a really good third quarter, outscoring the Trojans 21-8. And looking at the stats for this game, Sydney Onens, 4 of 10 shooting, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks. Megan Zeitz, 6 of 12 shooting, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc with 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. And Alana Nelson, 22 points on the day, 9 of 13 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3, 3 of 6 at the line, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. And Spring Arbor as a team shot really well from the field, 47%, 33 from 3, just 52% at the free throw line. Meanwhile, for the Trojans shot worse from the field at 41%. They were way better from 3, though, at 44%, and better at the free throw line, albeit by not a lot, at 66%. And looking at the Trojan stats, Emma Full was 2 of 7 shooting with 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Kendall Wayne, 2 of 2 shooting, which was both from beyond the arc, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. Ava Henson, 5 of 9 shooting, 2 of 4 from downtown, 5 of 7 at the line, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. And Whitney Warfel, 5 of 13 shooting, 2 of 6 from beyond the arc, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. And that was the matchup there. The next matchup takes us to Goshen, Indiana, where the Maple Leafs face off against the Lancers. The first time these two teams met, it was all Lancers. This go-around in Goshen, the Maple Leafs returned the favor, winning 76-57, the largest margin of victory against the Lancers since February of 2004. So really, really impressive to see that. And for Grace, they, of course, they're shorthanded and dealing with a ton of injuries. And, of course, they're only playing with a total of 7 active players. So that is just really, really, I don't mean to say costing them in terms of their season, but obviously you hate to see so many team injuries. But the Lancers, they keep fighting hard every game. They did have one bright spot from senior Peyton Murphy, 20 points, 8 of 19 shooting, 3 of 9 from beyond the arc, 7 of 9 at the free throw line, though, with 6 steals, 6 rebounds, and 1 block. And they had also a decent game from Maddie Pointer, 4 of 11 shooting, had 3 rebounds and 2 assists. Kenzie Ryman, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. Becca Marshall, 2 rebounds. And Becca Gert, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. And for the Lancers, they were able to get an extra position player. This girl that they were able to get playing for them to fill an injury spot. She plays on the Grace women's volleyball team. Her name is Sahara B, and she played 7 minutes and was 1 of 2 at the free throw line. So at least she did get her first collegiate basketball point as a position player, if you will, for the Lancers. The Lancers 35% shooting, 20% from 3. They were really good at the free throw line at 70%. Meanwhile, for the Maple Leafs, 53% shooting from the field, so way better. 36% shooting from 3, which isn't great, but obviously way better than Grace's 20%. And the Maple Leafs got to the line only 5 times and was 80% at the line. The Lancers got to the line 17 times. And looking at the stats for the Maple Leafs, Cyan Mohammed, 5 of 7 shooting. She did have 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. Ava Licklider, 3 of 6 shooting, 7 assists, 3 steals, 4 rebounds. Zion Neat, 30 points for the Leafs, 12 of 21 shooting, 4 of 8 from downtown, 2 of 3 at the line, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. And so that was the matchup there. And the next matchup takes us to Huntington, Indiana, where the Knights of Marion, ranked number 15 right now. The next updated polls come out Wednesday morning, 2 days from now, face off against the Huntington Foresters. Now, the Foresters, they've been on a hot streak lately. They had come into the game scoring 80 points the last 2 games, putting up 80 again in that thrilling double overtime win against St. Francis, and then putting up 83 at Mount Vernon last Wednesday night. And for the Foresters, they were right with the Knights both times in the regular season through the first half, and then that third quarter was just an absolute disaster for the Foresters, just like the first time these two teams met. Marion outscoring the Foresters 27-11 in the third quarter, and that was ultimately the difference. Now, of course, if the Foresters had scored 16 more points, then they only would have lost by 3 points, but still, it would have been a lot closer game. And the Knights had another double-double, 17 points, 12 rebounds for Abby McNally, 6 of 10 shooting with 3 assists, 1 steal. Her sister Kylie, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. Madison Bailey had a really good game, 4 of 9 shooting, 3 of 3 at the line, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block. Taylor Double, 5 of 9 shooting, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc with 3 assists and 1 steal. And Olivia Faust, 7 of 13 shooting, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist. And looking at the Knights shot 49% from the field compared to just 29% for the Foresters. The Knights shot 21% from 3, Huntington just 20%, so both teams pretty identical there. And now one bright spot for Huntington, they went to the line 30 times in this game. They were 86% at the line, so really, really good to see that. The Knights only went to the line 17 times for just 64%. So the bright spot for the Foresters, they were better at the free throw line. And looking at stats for the Foresters, Bailey Kellum, 3 of 8 shooting, 2 of 6 from beyond the arc, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Kendall Yoakum had an off shooting game, was 0 of 9 shooting, so very uncharacteristic of her, but she was 2 of 2 at the line with 3 rebounds and 2 steals. Annika Nelson had an off shooting game as well, just 1 of 8 shooting, but she did have 3 rebounds. And really for now, before I talk about the last 2 starters for the Foresters, I'll briefly touch on their bench. Kendra Sheets, freshman from Columbia City, Indiana, 1 of 6 shooting, so had a rough shooting game, but she was 4 of 4 at the free throw line. And Addie Shank, 2 of 3 shooting from the floor in just 16 minutes of action, 2 of 2 at the line, 7 rebounds, 1 steal there as well. And then for senior Gabby Melby, boy, she put the whole team on her back, that's for sure. 6 of 8 shooting, 1 of 1 from beyond the arc, 7 of 10 at the line for 20 points on the day with 1 rebound, 2 assists, 2 steals. And Liv Raby, 2 of 8 shooting, but she was a perfect 8 of 8 at the free throw line with 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. So that was really good to see those numbers. And then the last matchup takes us to Marion, Indiana, where the St. Francis Cougars traveled to face off against the Wildcats of Indiana Wesleyan. And it was the St. Francis Cougars, ranked number 14, with the upset win over the previously unbeaten Wildcats. St. Francis victorious 64-56. The Wildcats were held to a season low in offensive points. Their previous season low was 59 that they set at Grace January 29th, and then at St. Francis the first time these two teams met back on January 4th. So the Wildcats really struggled in this game. St. Francis got out to a 17-4 lead after the first quarter, and that was all the difference in the game. Now, had Indiana Wesleyan scored 13 more points to be even with St. Francis in the first quarter, the Wildcats would have been victorious by 5. So obviously that dismal first quarter was the difference in this game. Now, despite that, the Wildcats fought really, really hard, and they were able to get the game, to tie the game up in the third quarter, and they were right with St. Francis in the fourth quarter, but the Cougars ended the game on a 7-2 run, and that was the end of that. So looking at the stats for the Cougars, and the Cougars only played a total of 8 girls, and the Cougars had really, really balanced scoring, so congratulations to them on the upset win. And it was highlighted first by sophomore Isabella Gizzi, 3 of 6 shooting, 1 of 4 from beyond the arc. She was a perfect 8 of 8 at the free throw line with 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Cassidy Crawford, 5 of 9 shooting, 4 of 4 at the line with a rebound, assist, and a steal. And really, the one player that lit it up for the Cougars was Callie Gregory, 6 of 11 shooting. Gregory is a freshman this year. She had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. Chloe McKnight, 4 of 8 shooting, which was all from beyond the arc, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. And Julia Mantilla, 3 of 4 shooting, which was all from beyond the arc, 1 assist and 1 steal. The Cougars shot 51% from the field, 42 from 3, so really, really good numbers there. 77% at the free throw line. They got to the free throw line a total of 18 times. The Wildcats also got to the free throw line a total of 18 times. The Wildcats slightly better at the line, 88% compared to 77% for the Cougars. Now the one stat that really stands out, Indiana Wesleyan 36% shooting from the floor compared to 51% for the Cougars. Indiana Wesleyan, a dismal 17% from 3 compared to 42% for the Cougars. And then I mentioned the free throw percentage slightly better at 88%. And for the Wildcats, Jade Nutley was really good on defense, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Izzy Reed, 5 rebounds and 1 assist. Ellie Kelleher had 2 rebounds and 2 assists, and Taylor Folkema 22 points to lead the Wildcats, and 17 of those 22 were in the second half alone. 8 of 14 shooting, 1 of 4 from beyond the arc. She was a perfect 5 of 5 at the free throw line with 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. And off the bench, Maddie Lawrence, 5 of 13 shooting, 6 of 7 at the line, 3 rebounds and 1 assist. And Tori Thompson getting in the rotation in the second unit for the first time this year off the bench. 6 minutes of action for Thompson, and she had 1 steal. Corin Grivey, 2 of 4 shooting, 1 of 3 from beyond the arc with 3 rebounds, and Emily Mattingly, 2 of 2 at the line with 3 rebounds and 2 assists. And those were all of your stats recap from all the games this past Saturday. Looking at the upcoming matches for Wednesday night games, there are 4 games left in the regular season. St. Francis will be at Mount Vernon Nazarene. Taylor will be at Indiana Wesleyan. Bethel will be at Marion. Huntington will be out at Grace, and Goshen will be up at Spring Arbor. And those are all of your games there. Looking at the updated standings, and it's really tightening up for that 1 and 2 spot. Indiana Wesleyan stole a 1 seed, 13-1, 23-1 overall. The Knights of Marion, 1 game back, 19-5 overall, 12-2 in the conference. St. Francis 1 game behind Marion at 21-3 overall, 11-3 in conference. Spring Arbor at 9-5 in conference, 16-8 overall. Then Mount Vernon and Huntington still tied for that 5 spot, 14-10, 13-11 respectively overall. Both are 6-8 in conference. Mount Vernon Nazarene does hold that tiebreaker as of today due to more league road wins. Mount Vernon plays St. Francis on Wednesday. Then Bethel at 12-12 overall, 5-9 in the conference. 4-10 in conference for Goshen, 10-13 overall, and then Grace 10-14 overall, 3-11 in the conference, and then Taylor 6-13 overall, 6-18 overall for the Trojans, and 1-13 in the conference. So those are your updated standings in the conference, and of course playoff clinching scenarios. There's a lot to dive into, and I would have to record a separate video talking more about that, which I will momentarily, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. So I appreciate you so much watching this video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thanks again for tuning in to this video, and stay tuned because I'll be recording a men's video here momentarily, and then a separate video talking about all the playoff clinching scenarios, so you don't want to miss it.